So I had a user report to me that the year in my copyright notice on this website was wrong. So I'm going to go through and fix that. So I could just go ahead and just change the year to 2023 and call it good and ship it to production and move on with my life. But I'm going to make it so that this comes in and next year I don't have to make this change, automate a little bit of my life. And there we go. So let's see. I go through and I find that this data structure that I'm supposed to be sharing across all the pages is actually being set up differently in all the functions that make those pages, and that's not great. So I'm going to write a new small function that sets the fields on this page data structure. And that way I only have to set the current year once in one place, and all those other functions call this function, and the year is the same and right everywhere. Okay, we have the session and the current year. I'm going to just grab that from the time package, get the current time, and grab the year. Now, I'm using this cool tool in Golang that lets you just search for a string and actually make changes to the underlying files in the search window, which once I figured this out, I think my code quality really improved because I was able to make changes more quickly. I don't have to open and close files, which it surprisingly takes a while. So there we go, just finding all the places. Now, it actually wasn't all the places. In a second, I'll show that there's one that didn't work out, but there's the charts page. Some of these pages are gone now since I recorded this video. I've deleted a few pages, but um, here we go. This portfolio page data, unfortunately, didn't use my shared data structure, so now I need to go through and delete those fields. Or I can. I could have just set those fields directly, but I think here I'm just going to delete the two fields instead of adding the current year to this type and use that instead. Pass that in. So it's an embedded one, so it looks like it's the same, like the fields of the page data are on the root data structure, but they're actually coming from the embedded structure. Now I'm calling the function, and here we go, and that's it. Cool. So I'm dropping back up to an acceptance test now. So it's important to write tests to automatically check things. I don't want to check every field on my web pages before I push to production. So these tests let me just make assertions or about what is on the page and see that it's correct. And woof, here it goes. It's starting a server. It's going to try to make that request and then parse the HTML. And I messed up. Oh, I love it when I can make a change in one shot and the tests all pass and I can push to production quickly. But that's usually not what happens. There's usually something small that happens. And luckily, this test caught the mistake before a user did. So that's great. Um, and so I'm just going to use that page data. This index page data already has the correct fields, so my original search term didn't really work, but and that's why it's important to also, no matter how great your test coverage is, it's important to just look at your site and make sure it looks right. And so, yep, my test passed. I'm happy about that. I'm celebrating a little bit. And I'm going to start the server locally and just poke around at it. I'm not going to show all the poking I did because that took a while, but I am going to show just the one footer. And it looks right. So I'm going to go do some acceptance, and then we're going to make a commit. So by acceptance, I mean just like looking around the site, making sure it all looks okay. So yeah, these are the URLs to the website. Take a look at it if you're interested in finance, personal finance, and making better or looking at investment decisions that you're making and trying to like understand where your returns and risks are coming from. That's what the site's all about. Um, it's just a fun little project I'm doing. It's not investment advice or anything, but here I'm making a commit message and gonna push it. And after I push it, I'm gonna go up top there. There's some me just in the terminal pushing to production. And here it is loading the production version. It's wrong. Refresh the page with the new version, and it's right. Woohoo!